One person I didn't cover in my last video was George Barda. There was a reason for that, because he has got all sorts of things going on. Okay, so right, I'll start off with Brain Haw's stuff. I hugely recommend you go onto Brain Haw's site. I'm assuming it's being run by Barbara Tucker at the moment. I'm not 100% on that, but I mean, look, it's MR5 Democracy Village, Occupied Democracy, Pied Piper George Barda loses Parliament Square, non-challenged, excluded those arrested. Right, there's a lot to this, and I've been going through it the last couple of days, but the gist of the story is Brain Haw, for 10 years he had a 10-year protest outside Parliament and Parliament Square, where he literally was there for nearly 10 years. He fought against so many laws, repelled so many things. It's hard, I can't really pull them up all right now, but he won against the state a lot, and I think the state thought they could nab him in court, and they didn't. Now, since he died in 2010, and Occupy came along, and this is considering Brain Haw used to do this on his own, literally on his own, with no legal team or anything, sometimes with Barbara Tucker, sometimes with another guy called Chris Coverdale and a couple of other friends, but largely he did this on his own. Now, George Barda's come along with his European level lawyers, and I'll get onto that later, but their big lawyers are used by on massive cases, so they're obviously supposed to be good lawyers. Now he's lost pretty much every time where Brian was winning. So first of all, I mean this is where you really do need to look on Brain Haw's stuff. It's taken me 2 or 3 days just to even understand what's going on, because it's very there's so much on there, it's unbelievable. But I recommend you have a look on Brain Haw's website. There is so much to see. While we're talking about the court cases, I might as well show you this next pretty huge coincidence about his lawyers. So this is the last case I can find through. I said I only sort of found this a couple of days ago, so it's the last one I can find. It was done in 2015. It's just another court case with about Occupy and some of the stuff that they were sort of arranging. But look at these lawyers. So you've got here Maria Demetriou and Malcolm Birdling. Okay, so they're working on behalf of George Barda. Look who else they work for. Grand Chamber delivers judgment in first and only preliminary reference from Gibraltar. Maria Demetriou and Malcolm Birdling appeared for the UK government. Now, I've also brought up as well where they've been spokesman for the government on Brexit as well, over the tax laws, etc., etc. It's a pretty big coincidence, isn't it? And it would again throw beef behind this being controlled and possibly MI5 involved, as Brain Haw and his team have been shouting from the rooftops since well before 2010. Some of George's family. Right, we'll start with Robin John Blackmore Barda. Remember Blackmore because that is in the family. That's in the family name. So anyone that you come across with Blackmore and obviously Barda, they're in involved in that family. He's got quite a big family. But Robin Barda is a top barrister. A top barrister as well. Like, not just your little small time high street branch solicitor. He is a top barrister. Henry Lloyd Blackmore Barda, who I believe is his brother. Who I believe is his brother. It's definitely a relation, 100%. But I'm going by the date of births and how many brothers, etc., that I know to exist. He works for BP. Okay. He's got big links with the Guardian. I mean, come on, who has their own profile on a mainstream media webpage? It just doesn't happen, guys. Come on. And this is obviously on top of, and this will explain why Extinction Rebellion are getting so much positive media, because he's obviously got links to the Guardian newspaper. And you know how all the big newspapers are all linked up, and they're all big buddies, and they all sort of toe the line, sort of with a similar tone in their reporting. And that's just the one I can pull up now. There's so much positive stuff. Same with that Phoenix guy. He's got his own little profiles on all these mainstream sites. He's a full-time veteran activist. It's just nonsense. You don't real activists who are fighting against the system. You don't get nice glossy profiles on mainstream media web pages.